Alright everybody, so this video is the review of episode 13 of Once Upon a Time, season 7, Nightfall. Hopefully I get through this pretty fast. I actually have quite a bit of a headache right now. I wanted to just kind of mention, I think my reviews for these episodes aren't going to be as long as they were in the beginning. Just because I feel like I'm probably not going to have too much to say, honestly. Because I don't know. I guess we'll see. It just depends on the content of the episode, and we'll go on from there. So this was the Hook-centric episode of the season. We've had at least 3, I want to say, which is quite a bit. Usually Hook has 1 or 2 centric episodes in the previous seasons. I know in 4 and 6 he had 1. And then, of course, he didn't have any in season 1 because he wasn't there. I'm quite surprised they gave that many episodes. I don't know if it's just because of the storyline with Alice as well, so maybe that's why. Alice and like Gothel too. Just because they're 2 new characters, so maybe that's why. Who knows? This one, of course, focuses on a couple things, the relationship with him and Alice, and how he got his cursed heart. Really quickly, I feel like I want to see Captain Hook as a dad, but I wanted to see the real, the one that we had for the first, 5 years that Hook was on the show, the one that's in Storybrooke right now with Emma awaiting their baby. Just because, that child is one that's conceived out of love, whereas Alice was conceived through rape and deception and, was kind of pretty much thrusted upon Hook in a way. Because if you think about, Gothel was going to abandon the baby and leave her to die, and I feel like, that's part of the reason why Hook stayed behind, because that baby would have had no one. And yeah, I know he obviously loves Alice, at this point in time, but there was never any moment, when you look back and watch that episode where she's conceived, where he's thinking like, what just happened to me? How do I handle taking care of this child when she was born this way? There was none of that discussion. There was none of that thought process in his mind, and that's a really bad thing. I genuinely think, yeah, you can love a child if that child was a product of rape. Oftentimes, so most of them end up being adopted, or given up for adoption because the parents just can't. They can't deal with it. In case if it's a woman that had been raped and had gotten pregnant, sometimes they have an abortion, and now obviously Hook, maybe given what we know about his childhood, having been abandoned by his own father and sold, I feel like that factored into it, but we never saw that as one of the reasons why he stayed and learned about it. So I feel like, knowing that was never discussed really, to me, puts a damper on their relationship, and also just how Alice was conceived in general kind of, really puts a damper on it as well. It makes it kind of hard to watch them being this loving father-daughter couple, for those very reasons. Because I feel like if they had those discussions and they were still very loving towards each other, then I think it would be a better story to me. But I do think, Colin acted in those scenes beautifully, as he always does. I just wish, there was either that discussion or it was just, between his child that he's going to have with Emma. You know, a child that is conceived out of love, that, you know, was genuinely planned for, you know, that was clearly very wanted by both set of parents, and was a consensual conception. Just wanting to say that. Another thing about this episode is we get to meet Captain Ahab, who is the captain in the novel Moby Dick, which I haven't read Moby. I've read a little bit of it for a class. We only read a small section. It's on my to-read list in the future, among many books. I really liked the actor. I thought they picked a good actor for him. I thought he was a fun character. I hope we see more of him. I like the relationship he had with Hook. I hope we get to see more of those two together. I feel like we will in, I think, episode Breadcrumbs, which is 16, I want to say. 15 or 16. And Henry and Hook are going to go on a journey, so I think that's an episode he's going to be in. I hope we see more of him. I'm, you know, disappointed when they get characters like that are really interesting, and now we can't really explore them because this is the last season, of course. But their scenes are really fun. It's piratey goodness. I love pirates. I don't think Ahab is a pirate in the book, though. So that's kind of their twist on that character. They made him a pirate, and he had a peg leg. So they're both, you know, two characters that, you know, have lost a limb of some sort. So that was, you know, interesting to see. I liked the pistol duel. That was fun. They mentioned Alexander Hamilton, and his duel on their Facebook page. That was funny. Because there's a lot of famous duels out there in history. I don't think this is one of them, though, but it was fun. I enjoyed those scenes, I think the most, you know, when it came to this episode. I also really loved the scenes with Rumpelstiltskin. I'm so happy to see scaly, you know, green-skinned crocodile looking Rumple back. Those scenes are always fun. Robert Carlyle does those scenes great. I think it's funny that, you know, he never remembers what he did before in the episodes with, you know, when Rumple looks like that. So he just makes up something new. I think that's hilarious that he does that. Because I guess the writers thought he did that, you know, on purpose. He thought it through and all that. And it turns out, nope, that's not the case. I think that's hilarious. But it also just shows how talented Robert Carlyle is. Because he can do it on the fly. Like that. But I thought that was funny. But his scenes were great. I love that Rumple, that version of Rumple, like that, where he's all like that. And it was great, the scenes with him and Hook. Good stuff right there. I wish we get more. I guess we'll see. What else? Stuff in modern day with the investigation. I'm glad, again, they're continuing that story, following through, trying to tie up that loose end with the Coven / the killer of the Coven. That stuff with Gothel, though, it's so uncomfortable hearing her talk about how, like, he would look, you know, younger, clean shaven, and things like that. I'm like, oh, that made me so uncomfortable. She is his rapist, and I don't want her near him at all. I want her gone. Like, please. I know she's got like 4 more episodes left, I want to say. I can't remember what episode the character's gonna leave in. It's going to be soon, because I don't think she's in the last 3, at least. But yeah, that made me so uncomfortable. Those were my least favorite moments in this episode, was when Gothel and Hook were together. Just, makes my skin crawl. The stuff with older Alice was interesting. I'm wondering why she's reacting like that. Wonder if maybe her real, you know, Alice is bleeding through in Tilly, or if Gothel, you know, maybe did something to her. I feel like it is Gothel, though. I can't help but wonder if maybe Gothel is the killer and she's setting up her own daughter. I wouldn't put it past her, considering she cursed them because for some odd reason she wants Alice to stay in that tower. I don't know why. I mean, what would have done though if Hook had freed her? I mean, they're not gonna be anywhere near her, and they probably don't want to be. I do wonder if Alice knows that's her mother though, because it sounds like she doesn't. Really, that's not gonna be a good day to learn about that. What else is there? Like I said, I want to see more Ahab. Oh, Drizella. I know a lot of people were very concerned about that kiss with her and Henry, or Ivy and Henry, I should say. It didn't last that long. Henry stopped it. And he talked to her, and I think he got through to her. So in that case, I thought that was a very well done scene, because Henry spoke up and said, this isn't right. This isn't what you want. It's not what I want. You're grieving and your feelings are kind of all over the place. So I thought it was a really great scene between those two. I know a lot of people think they have more chemistry. I do think that too. I kind of wish they had Adeline Kane be Andrew J. West's love interest, and had maybe, instead of casting the little girl they did for Lucy, cast someone else that could have been their daughter. But oh well, say lovey. Let me think of anything else. We had the walk of shame with Regina. We could have done without that scene, honestly. I think it was just a way to put Regina in the episode. Lucy, of course, finds out about the curse. Again, that stuff is kind of boring to me. Didn't enjoy it. At the end of the episode, though, Lucy and Regina are going to do one of the operations like Henry and Emma used to do. That makes me sad, because I feel like, that was something that was special between those two characters. And now these two are getting it. I kind of wish it was just Emma and Henry's thing. I don't like that. As you know, Emma's my favorite character in the show. And I kind of don't like when something that was unique and special for her and her character is being given to someone else. I don't like that. That's what made Emma so special, was all these things, and that's what made her relationship with Henry special. And I don't care for, Henry having an operation with someone other than Emma, and I don't care for Regina and Lucy having one. And also, I disagree. The Mills family does not save people's lives. They're not heroes. They're often, in fact, all three women were villains. I know Regina and Zelena are redeemed, but there were a lot of people whose lives they actually destroyed. They didn't save. In fact, a lot of people died because of them. There's a lot of hearts that are, out of people's bodies that were crushed or in little boxes. Just throwing that out there. So, I did not like that scene for so many different reasons. But it looks like we're getting an Operation Adventure with Regina and Lucy, and I'm not happy about that at all. And let me think of anything else before. Oh, the Moana reference. I wish they had actually done Moana as one of the main story arcs this season. I think that would have been fantastic. It would have given them more numbers and viewers, I feel like, because a lot of people really like Moana. And a lot of people, want more with Moana. And I feel like, like when they did Frozen, they had really good ratings during the Frozen arc. And a lot of people that only liked Frozen watched that arc. It would have been the same with Moana, and they would have probably not gotten canceled, I feel like, if they had done Moana. Although I do think part of it is the fact that a lot of the cast members left as well. But that's a different theory for another day. I did like the reference, though. I'm surprised how small Maui's fishhook was. It was quite tiny. I was expecting it to be bigger, like it is in the movie. Oh well, it was still a fun reference. I really enjoyed it. I wish they had done more with Moana instead of doing, version 2 of Cinderella. Just saying. Let me think of anything else. Again, I hope we get more with Ahab. I like those scenes. And it was always great to see Mr. Smee again. I like him, I enjoy his character, and I hope we get to see him again before the show ends. I have a feeling we will. I know we're getting to have Robin Hood back. Cruella de Vil, Peter Pan, and Ariel are coming back as well as Granny, Grumpy, and Geppetto. So that's good.